Hey, good morning, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us here on Daybreak Plus, streaming free on your TV. I'm Rob Evans, alongside meteorologist Casey Sherman and Hannah Rucker, as always. And on this Friday Eve,
there you go.
Yes,
I was waiting for you to say it.
Gotta say it every time. Only one time per show. We gotta wonder what's the weekend weather going to be looking like. I know we got another day, but let's lean into it.
Right. Well, I don't think a lot of us are going to want to lean into the weather for the weekend because it's going to be hot. It'll be hazy. And it's just going to be one of those tough weekends to be outside. But we won't have rain and thunderstorms, so definitely a weekend recommended to be doing something that cools you down. The pool, Barton Springs, heading out to one of the area lakes. It should be a good weekend for that because, boys, the heat cranking on up. Right now, as we take a look at our radar, we're currently dry. We're heading into a much drier forecast after this kind of more active start that we had to the work week. Notice we do have some rain and storms to the north of us, currently moving through parts of the Texas Panhandle, North Texas. This won't ever make its way here. We've got a blocking area of high pressure building across South Texas, which is why we are so quiet down towards areas like the Rio Grande Valley, Laredo, and that will continue to build out across central Texas as we head into today and for at least the next 3 afternoons. Out the door right now, we've got a cloudier sky. Taking a look out across Lake Travis, I'm sure a very popular destination with the heat this weekend. Clouds building, but starting to break apart a little bit, and they'll continue to scour out as we head into later this morning as things begin to warm. 76 degrees out towards the airport, 77 for Camp Mabry. Those winds currently out of the southeast, pulling in that humidity that we will continue to feel today as well. So hot, humid today, heat index values climbing into the triple digits, and our air temperatures will be back into middle 90s. We're likely going to be topping out off about 4 to 5 degrees warmer than what we had yesterday. Mostly sunny sky by this afternoon, and those temperatures will be reaching near about 95 degrees. As we head into tonight, we cool things down to 76 degrees, becoming cloudy once again. Afternoon highs across the area today going to be at 92 for Burnett, 95 for San Marcos, 95 out towards Bastrop and Lockhart, and all of us soaring as we head into the weekend. The heat will be building. I'll show you when we should be reaching the 100-degree mark yet again coming up in just a bit.
Hot and hazy, loading for the weekend. Thank you so much, KC. Your time now is 7:03. We are taking a live look out across the area, and this stretch just can't catch a break today. So earlier, we were feeling some slowdowns on I-35 near North Lamar and Walnut Forest because of a stalled vehicle at Breaker. We now have a new crash northbound Howard Lane. So like I said, it's just been kind of a doozy for this stretch all morning. So now this crash once again is mainly impacting those northbound lanes. So here's Palmer, and then heading up, here's Howard. And so anyone that's traveling up there, maybe heading out to Round Rock today, you can expect some delays there. Let's take a look at that live camera again so we can take a look at kind of a little peek on the frontage roads. Looks like we've got some movement on the frontage roads, but definitely still feeling those slowdowns out there. Overall, really not a terrible looking map right now. We've certainly seen worse around here. And we do have a new crash, though, in South Austin. This is at South Park Meadows Drive, and that is just west of I-35, not too far from that Manchaca area in South Austin today. Let's take a look. Good morning to my San Marcos Bobcats. We do have an incident right now, just the service road I-35, and that is actually southbound at River Ridge Parkway. Not a bad day to jump in that water, huh? Taking a look, though, Buda, you guys are going 29 miles per hour in the northbound lanes, so really just kind of feeling those area-wide slowdowns. A busy day in Austin, Texas.
It's never a bad day to jump in that water, Hannah, right? Well, college students without legal status in Texas will no longer qualify for in-state tuition. This comes just hours after the U.S. Department of Justice sued the state. KVUE's Malia Masamoto joins us live from the UT campus this morning. And Malia, what is this going to mean for some college students?
Well, Rob, for the past 24 years, students without legal status have been able to get in-state tuition if they lived here in Texas for 3 years before graduating high school and a year before enrolling in college, but that's no longer going to be the case. Now, under that former law known as the Texas Dream Act, students would also have had to sign an affidavit saying that they would be applying for resident status as soon as possible. But just Wednesday night, the Texas sided with the federal government and struck down that law. Now, this legislative session, a law that would have also ended the same law, made it out of a Senate committee, which is the first time that's happened in a decade. It was Senate Bill 1798, and it would have reversed that law and also made students pay for the difference of in-state and out-of-state tuition if they weren't classified correctly. But that bill did not make it to the floor. Now, Wednesday night, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton praised the Justice Department's lawsuit, saying, quote, ending this discriminatory and un-American provision is a major victory for Texas. Now, there's already at least one political organization, immigrant families and students in the fights, who says they plan to push back against the court's judgment. Reporting live from the UT campus, Malia Masmoto, KVUE News.
All right, big news there out of the UT campus. Appreciate that, Malia. Well, President Donald Trump has issued a new travel ban. It blocks people from 12 countries that his administration deems dangerous from coming to America. This follows his original 2017 ban, which targeted mainly Muslim-majority countries and was eventually upheld by the Supreme Court in 2018. The White House says the move is about national security. Critics, though, call it discriminatory. The new travel ban set to go into effect on Monday. And President Trump was ordering a Justice Department investigation into whether aides to former President Biden covered up his medical decline. Without any evidence, President Trump claims that former President Biden's aides used auto pen to sign official actions, raising questions about the legitimacy of executive orders, of pardons, and judicial appointments. Now, a new book claims former President Biden's team knew he was struggling and even talked about a wheelchair post-election. Former President Biden dismissed those allegations, calling Trump's move a distraction. The local business owners gathered to talk about the impact of ongoing tariffs. The Texas Association of Business and Farmers for Free Trade held a town hall in Austin. They say the amount of tariffs paid by Texas importers grew by $934 million since last March, which represents a 167% increase. The chief operating officer from the local store Toy Joy spoke on how the higher cost of tariffs is being passed on to consumers.
I can't afford to eat that cost, so therefore the customer has to eat that cost. And that leads us to a position where, like, some things I just can't reorder because I know our customers aren't going to want to pay a certain amount. And that affects everyone up that chain. You know, it just ping pongs back and forth.
Yesterday, the Congressional Budget Office released a report saying President Trump's tariff plan would cut trade deficits by $2.8 trillion over a 10-year period. It also says it would shrink the economy and raise inflation. 7:08 right now. Some San Marcos residents say they are worried after the federal government announced the Gary Job Corps Center will close this month. The U.S. Department of Labor made the decision to pause operations at Job Corps centers nationwide after what they call an internal review of the program's outcomes and structure. KVUE's Brianna Perez joins us now in studio with more. Brianna, big news for the people who are a part of that program, right?
That's right. Well, as the largest Job Corps center in the United States, Gary has been around for 60 years, providing students with opportunities and different avenues for success. And now community members are worried about the lasting impacts that this will have on the region if it closes.
It's hard when you have so many plans and so many ideas that you want to go do and things that you want to build for yourself, and for that to become in a halt in just a couple days. They just told us like a week ago, and now we're leaving.
Devin Haley says he spent several years at Gary Job Corps, completing the clinical medical assistant program and pursuing a second trade when he got the news of the closure.
Their goal was, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to change the trajectory of my life, and now they're having to start over.
Norman Turner, the center director, says Devin is one out of the 1,400 students affected by the closure. Those living on campus will have to move out, and another 500 staff members will lose their jobs.
This is a massive hit to this area. It's something that the ripple effects we'll feel for quite some time.
Turner says not only did the Gary help the economy in San Marcos, it also changed lives. Gary Center instructor and alumnus Heather Escalante says without the program, she wouldn't be where she is today.
This was the last house on the block for me. So I fully believe if it was not for Gary, if it was not for Job Corps and all of the counterparts, all of the people here in it, I don't think I would be here today.
They call on lawmakers to reconsider and for the community to stand with them during this time.
And Turner says the Job Corps program will be suspended effective June 30th. He says they have already started transferring students out of the campus, and the center has been working with local partners to provide resources and guidance to those that are leaving. So just a really sad situation overall. They also told us about 750 people that were
currently in their programs will no longer be able to finish.
What a shame. 60 years. I mean, this is huge. Gosh.
And hopefully it's just temporary. There is the possibility they could come back.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's keeping their fingers crossed and just keeping a close eye on what happens next.
All right, Brianna, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Brianna. And in other local news this morning, Austin police released new video and details after officers shot a suspect on late Saturday night. The shooting happened on West Anderson Lane near North Lamar Boulevard. Chief Lisa Davis says officers tried to stop a stolen car, but the driver took off and hit a pole. Then another car the suspect started shooting at officers, so officers fired back.
Stop right.
Police say the suspect, 18-year-old Devin Gavada, was injured. He faces multiple charges now, including 3 counts of aggravated assault on officers. The 4 officers who fired their weapons are on administrative leave. And the man accused of murdering King of the Hill voice actor Jonathan Joss is now out of jail. Sigfredo Alvarez posted bond and was released Wednesday. Alvarez is facing murder charges. He had been in jail since the shooting on Sunday. Investigators say Alvarez and Joss had a long-standing feud, and there's really a lot going on with the story. The actor's husband has called the shooting a hate crime. However, San Antonio police say they currently don't have evidence to indicate the murder was related to Joss's sexual orientation.
7:12 right now as temperatures creep into the 90s this week. An Austin organization is making sure people who are unhoused stay cool and even have a little bit of fun. The Urban Alchemy Oasis in downtown Austin hosts monthly events designed to provide relief from the heat and connect unhoused people with essential resources. The organization, along with local outreach groups and businesses, offered 500 meals and free cell phones, access to health insurance, medical care, and showers to those who needed it. Benny Matias has been a resident at Urban Alchemy and says the heat can be brutal, but events like these give people a safe place to relax.
It brings us all together. You know, we see everybody smiling, having a great time eating, and that's what they want to see, that we're enjoying it and we're not having to be out on the street, and we get a wonderful meal, and we're so grateful for it.
What were your days? I feel like you probably...
Organizers say they'll continue to host monthly community events as well as weekly barbecues to feed people in need. Very cool event right there. A lot of people came together to make that happen.
I love to see that. And I'll tell you what, I also love to see employees of Austin-based business rocked the stage at ACL Live at the Moody Theater. Last night was the corporate Battle of the Bands fundraiser to the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. We got to take care of these musicians. And the wonderful KVUE's Quita Culpepper was the MC. There she is. Oh, she's so cute, of the event.
The best part about coming to an event like this is that you see artists that you might have never experienced before, and that's really what the Austin community is trying to share. Like, a lot of the folks that I work with are also musicians. My husband's a musician, and everyone's just trying to do the thing that they love.
As of midnight last night, the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians raised a record-breaking $280,000 at the fundraiser. We love to see it.
An $8.5 billion bill to boost public school funding is now law here in Texas. Governor Greg Abbott held a ceremony in Salado to sign that bill. Nearly half of the money in House Bill 2 will go toward teacher and staff pay raises, which was one of the governor's emergency items this session. It also sets aside funding for school districts' basic costs like utilities and insurance, plus special education, career training programs, and school safety. It would increase the basic allotment by $55 per student. That is the base amount of funds a district gets per student.
It's time that we Texans collectively recast our gaze to Texas being ranked #1 for educating the children of the great state of Texas.
While education advocates say it's a step in the right direction, they say it's still not enough to deal with inflation and that it limits how schools can spend that money. 7:15 right now, in Texas, softball is now one win away from its first ever national title. In Game 1 of the Women's College World Series final last night, which unfortunately we can't show you, because this is streaming. Can't show you ESPN video on it. But Reese Atwood put Texas ahead in the 6th inning. Just trust me on it. Texas Tech, what had happened was, I could draw you a picture. She was trying to intentionally walk Atwood. However, the pitcher left the ball hanging out over the plate, and that was the smile afterwards. She said, "Thank you very much. I'm going to hit this one out." And she did. Texas won it 2-1. Game 2 tonight at 7 on, again, ESPN.
Woo woo, we'll be cheering on the Lady Longhorns today. And it is Thursday morning here at Austin, Texas, and that means it is time for Forever Families. It is 7:16 to be exact, and every week here on KVUE Daybreak, I have the privilege of featuring a different child in Texas foster care in the hopes of helping them to possibly be adopted and even find a forever family. And this week, I introduce you to an impressive teen boy with a great head on his shoulders. Meet Isaiah.
Let me do this better one more time.
This is Isaiah.
I'm never gonna fall.
You don't think?
No. No.
Oh! He's a 14-year-old boy in Texas foster care who just got out of school for the summer. Two of us met up for a day of fun in Beat Cave at the Urban Air Trampoline and Adventure Park, and we enjoyed falling into the foam pit.
Oh, that actually kind of scary.
Isaiah is excited to start his sophomore year in the fall and has a class in particular he's very interested in.
There's one class called business and management. They help you with learning about what you need to do with your money, how you spend it well, just learning about the business a lot. And that's kind of what I like because, I really like business. I want to start my own business one day. And I feel like me starting my own business can change everything because I really want to help back my community and all that stuff because, all the things that they have done for me.
And as for finding a forever family and being adopted, his wishes are pretty simple.
I probably do want to get adopted, I feel like I just need to find somebody that genuinely loves me and just wants to be with to have a kid like me in their home. Whatever family does take me, I feel like we can grow a lot and just build a strong relationship and a great bond.
Powerful words there. He said a family that genuinely just loves me. That's all he wants. And Isaiah, enjoys being active. He said it really helps him cope. Running track, he's got a lot going on. And of course, he was working on his flips while we were there. And his dream is to go to the University of Texas someday, which we would love to see. And of course, you can learn about adopting him on KVUE.com/foreverfamilies. I will have that up later this morning, but so much fun. I'm still kind of hurting from the foam pit, but I gave it a good old fashioned try.
There you go.
Falling back is scary.
So his maturity level is off the charts. So for a 14-year-old young man to talk about the emotions, that's not easy to do, especially on camera.
Yeah.
This young man has a bright future ahead of him, and if he wants to go to Texas, obviously he can. And how can they learn more though about him?
Yes, you can go Forever Families on KVUE.com, and thank you for mentioning that about him being able to speak, because I think a lot of times these kids, they almost behave as much older than their actual age because of everything that they've been through with foster care. And there's a lot in these stories I don't always mention just out of privacy with the children, but it's really tough. It's hard.
So let's say hypothetically, because we have more time here on streaming, which I love to do.
Yeah.
If you aren't sure if you're ready to adopt, maybe you want to mentor this kid and meet him, have a little one-on-one time first, because adoption is a huge deal.
Right.
What's the process there? You've been doing this for so long, you know how it works.
Oh, absolutely. So when you go on foreverfamilies.com, each week we have this article, and then they are associated with Partnerships for Children, which is a local nonprofit who kind of acts as really the middleman with the Department of Protective Services. And of course, you can learn about them and their interests. We have all kinds of community events, and you're right, Rob. It is a pretty extensive process, but rightfully so. We're talking about human lives and children, and we really want to make sure that match makes sense. And for someone like him who's in high school, that's another thing with the teenagers. It can be hard to see those adoptions go through later in life. But they need that support too. They need somewhere to come home during college.
Yeah, and it's not financially. It's not an overwhelming problem, right? Financially, there's help, right?
Yeah. So actually, if you do it through the state, it really doesn't cost much at all, except for they want to make sure you have all the proper things in your home and things like that. But it's nothing. When you go through the private agencies, it can be a little bit more expensive. But with these children I'm interviewing, they're within Texas foster care and local kids, and all facilitated through that nonprofit. So
hope this young man finds what he's looking for out there.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. And of course, we'll see you here in just a couple minutes. We're going to go live back on cable for our cut-in, and then we'll be right back here on KVUE Plus. And thanks so much for joining us. Good Thursday morning, Central Texas. I hope your morning's off to a wonderful start. I'm Hannah Rucker with a look at your morning traffic here in Central Texas at 723. Still seeing some delays through Walnut Forest. We had a stalled vehicle earlier near that breaker area, and then now we've got an incident in the northbound lanes at Howard. Also seeing delays coming in from Buda and South Austin today. We've got a new crash, I-35 at FM 2001 there, and seeing some stop and go through Onion Creek as well. So here's that crash at Howard Lane. Earlier, we were kind of feeling that on both sides of the highway. Now it's if you're just heading out to North Austin or Round Rock, you'll run into that right there. One lane blocked, but for this stretch, as you know, I mean, someone could sneeze and the whole thing shuts down. So it really slows it down out there. We do have an incident right outside of the Domain on Kramer Lane at Brockton Drive, and a little bit of that typical slowdown southbound on Mopac. And of course, there's been some delays there in the past couple days as well because of lane closures. Casey, I know we were talking about that yesterday. It's been adding a little bit of extra time as everyone's heading out. Good morning to my San Marcos Bobcats. Feeling good today out in the river, I bet. I-35, Service Road, River Ridge Parkway, southbound.
And good morning. It's Thursday. Today kicks off our warming trend that's going to take us into the weekend. We're off to another cloudy sky. This is just very typical when we've got those southeasterly winds pulling in that humidity. I do expect these clouds, though, to start to dissipate a bit more by the afternoon, leaving us partly sunny a little later on. Lake Travis will be a popular destination this weekend because we are all about the heat from now through Sunday, with the drier weather pattern resuming as well. Today, clouds start to clear out. Look for a mostly to partly sunny sky by this afternoon as temperatures warm to around 95 degrees. Mainly dry for today with just a stray shower possible for coastal plains. Middle 70s overnight. We're at 97 for tomorrow, 99 on Saturday, and 100 degrees by Sunday afternoon.
Welcome back, everybody. We missed you. Thanks so much for joining us here on a KVUE Plus on Daybreak Plus. It's a lot of pluses. You know what we mean to say. Daybreak Plus on KVUE Plus. Daybreak Plus. You know what, you call it what you want. We're all friends here.
You're
all right?
confusing the good
it's
people.
It's streaming on your TV. I'm Rob Evans.
And I'm Hannah Rucker. We have the wonderful meteorologist Casey Sherman. Hi.
Hello. Good morning. Yeah, I mean, it's Thursday now.
I think
so.
No.
Oh, I keep thinking it's
Friday
Wednesday.
Eve.
Oh, Friday Eve.
Yeah, he's got a thing.
You only have to say that once.
Well, you said it, though, this time.
So she's not her clocking you. I like spicy Casey.
Okay, Friday Eve.
Yes.
Oh. We said
Doesn't it feel good, though?
It does.
She's like, sure.
Good as we get into the weekend. You know, we're getting closer and closer, but the weather won't be feeling very nice as we've got the triple digits back with us on the way. Out the door right now, taking a look outside, cloudy sky. Austin at 77 degrees. Cameron could be dealing with a little bit of fog right now at 75 degrees. You're at 75 for Burnett, 77 for LaGrange. Fredericksburg sitting at 73 degrees right now. We are off to a dry start this morning, and as we take you through this afternoon, winds to the southeast will eventually warm things up. The clouds that we currently have scour out, and we should be mainly dry. Other than maybe just a stray shower across the coastal plains by this afternoon. The main weather headline as we head into from now through the weekend is going to be the building heat. Temperatures out for this afternoon, 92 for Burnett and Blanco, 95 for Austin out towards Bastrop. Coastal plains, middle 90s for you. We've got a broad area of high pressure that's currently focused across North Mexico. This is going to continue to expand and strengthen over the next several days, which is going to lead to this building heat that we will have day after day straight into the upcoming weekend. You can see statewide, many of us at least approaching the 100-degree mark by Saturday. I think a lot of us will be hitting it certainly by Sunday. It's going to be a hot one across the Lone Star State as we head into this upcoming weekend. I'll show you how long the heat sticks around and show you when we should see some relief, along with the return of some rain chances coming up in just a bit.
Thank you so much, KC. I'll tell you what, we do have some crashes popping up. It was pretty quiet out there for a while, but definitely still feeling those slowdowns through Walnut Forest. Once again, we've got a crash there, stalled vehicle there, and a couple different things popping up kind of all along I-35 right now. So honing in on in South Austin right now, we still have an active incident, Buda, northbound, FM 2001 there, and then also still seeing that incident west of I-35 in that Menchaca area and seeing that stop and go through Onion Creek. And then honing in once again, if you're just waking up in Walnut Forest, we've had kind of a doozy out there. Really, that's just kind of standard now, right? I feel like every day we have something going on for this stretch. There's Palmer, there's Howard, seeing those backups there. We also have a new incident just right outside of the domain there at Kramer Lane and Brockton Drive, and seeing some slowdown southbound on Mopac as well. Hopping on Loop 360 as well, seeing some delays there, as well as 183 approaching the Arboretum. And a little bit of stop and go on 183 heading northbound from Colton as well, and a stalled vehicle, River Ridge Parkway in San Marcos.
All right, thank you very much. Coming up on 7:30 right now, and get ready. Are you ready?
I really am, because I actually like him. They don't know.
Surprise.
Sorry. Okay, yeah, well, I know. Yeah.
Hip hop royalty is coming to Central Texas, and she likes him, whoever he is.
I do. It's Lil Wayne, y'all, and he's
Wait, she's still little?
Yeah, I hope he's okay, though. I did see a video a while back. I'm like, I hope he's all good. But anyways, you know what? I hope he's ready for the tour, because this is going to be some good throwbacks. He will perform live at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater on September 16th.
Oh my gosh, look at that picture on the album.
His little baby Wayne.
With tattoos on his face. That is hilarious.
Yeah, fans can expect an electrifying set featuring hits from his latest album, which comes out on Friday. Okay, whoa. I'm very curious of what direction this one will go in, because I'm talking about the old ones. Okay, tickets also go on sale on Friday. Noticeably absent from the tour schedule is the rapper's home state of Louisiana. And if you didn't hear, it's kind of a mess, but Lil Wayne was not very happy after the NFL chose Kendrick Lamar instead of him to perform during halftime of this year's Super Bowl, which of course was held in New Orleans. And I have to be honest, I thought he was going to bring him out at some point, and I was waiting for that. It just didn't happen.
I don't know if are they friends or they collaborators. I don't know. You never know who's going to pop up in those shows.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. He posted some video. He didn't seem like fully well. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know.
We all go through our own struggles, and
we
so
do.
We wish him the best, and
absolutely.
Hopefully the show goes on. You're going to go check it out, though, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go for research, of course.
Yeah, for research. I like that. Yes.
Okay. A bull in a china shop, more like an elephant in a snack shop.
What?
Oh, I love elephants. In Thailand, a wild elephant. He was just hungry, and he looks like he needs a bubble bath. And well, he wandered into this grocery store in the national park there, calmly helping himself to rice crackers, a sandwich, and dried bananas. He left without hurting anyone.
Nice.
He just had some muddy tracks, and he built up an appetite. Goodness. Officials say shrinking forests are forcing elephants into towns more often in search of food. They're the most incredible animals, and we got to protect them. They're gentle giants.
Beautiful. They are gentle, but they can be, of course, accidentally dangerous. I mean, if you're washing them, there have been stories of being accidentally crushed.
Well, also they have incredible memories.
Yeah.
They never forget anything, and they can hold grudges.
I know some women like that. Yeah.
Oh, we could talk about that the rest of the show. Just kidding.
Hey, it's streaming. We can talk as long as we want.
People would like that, I think. Let's get back to the news, though.
And the guys too, not just women.
True. Everyone loves a good cup of tea, right?
Yeah. Tonight's, by the way, is a cup of Game 1 of the NBA Finals. The Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder are both looking for their first NBA championship. How did the Pacers, back when they had Reggie, they were so good back then. How did they never win one, right? You know what you're thinking? Well, you can watch the NBA Finals one place. You know where it's at, Hannah? Right here on KVUE. You don't have to whisper it.
I know. Why did I whisper?
I don't really know.
Right here. Let me say it with my chest.
It's not a secret. Game 1 tips off at 7:30 p.m. And of course, one of the stars looking to get that first ring for his first team, Indiana Pacers, Miles Turner, of course, the former Texas Longhorn.
Off the court, Turner is building a legacy brick by brick, and he's not the only basketball star who enjoys building Lego sets. Danny New has a story.
Turner open for the three. You may see Miles Turner and the Indiana Pacers sinking a lot of threes in these NBA Finals, but off the court.
What's good, everybody? These are my builds I cooked up this season.
Turner has become one of the many basketball stars sinking serious dough into the Lego collection of my childhood dreams.
Up House, Simba.
I spoke with some of the ballers who have become famous online for brandishing their arsenal of Danish building blocks. Like Dallas Mavericks center Derek Lively.
You know, in my head, it's like, do I want to buy a car or do I want to buy 150 different Lego sets? Hot dog stand, piranha plant.
Lively says he got back into Legos a few years ago when his mom bought him a set for Christmas. And as he's ventured from the Millennium Falcon to the Eiffel Tower, this hobby has even helped his game a little bit in certain areas.
Honestly, it's helped me with my touch. And it's helping my left hand as well.
So you need a touch, a little finger roll.
You need a little soft touch.
I mean, you can especially understand when you see just how small a Lego appears in this 7-footer's hands.
Great, straightaway three, that rainbow, a thing of beauty.
Meanwhile, for two-time WNBA All-Star Alicia Gray of the Atlanta Dream.
As you can see, it is 25 bags.
She shares 10-minute videos of herself working on, say, Captain America's shield, and thousands of people tune in.
Does that blow your mind?
Yeah, because I didn't know I was that interesting of a person. And people find it very interesting.
But on a more serious note, they both said this hobby has helped them relax. And when Alicia is stressed from her very competitive day job,
yeah, I'm like, I'm going to go shopping for some Legos.
By the way, Derek says he even got his veteran teammate, future Hall of Famer Klay Thompson, to race him in a Lego building competition. Well, apparently Derek won. He says Klay did start to see the appeal by the end of it. Maybe we at ABC should all have a giant Lego building competition. I got a head start. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
I mean, I like the fact he's talking about, well, what do? Do you buy a car or Legos? One's depreciating the car and one is the toy.
It makes sense. And also, okay, we have a local place. I've done some Forever Family stories there. It's called Bricks and Minifigs. So any of the Lego lovers, you got to go check it out. 183 Cedar Park. You go in there. There's like the Taj Mahal. They build these crazy things. It's kind of amazing.
Do they glue them together or they just snap them together?
Yeah, they
some
just
places
like Lego.
they snap them.
Okay.
Some people permanently will glue them together.
Yes,
to make
they do that a little bit. Like they have every Harry Potter in there. You walk through all the movies, and they glue that part,
cool.
but they show you what you can do.
Did y'all play with those or Lego blocks or anything as kids?
Yeah, they hurt your feet.
Yeah, when you step on them.
Ouch.
Yeah, I can see it though being kind of like, I mean, the basketball players, they got the little dots, on top, so kind of like texture like a basketball,
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
And he said it flexes that
something
muscle.
to calm your mind too,
yeah,
because the
it's
pressure they must be under, right? When the millions of people watching and getting paid to make a shot, and like the pressure to bring 80s and 90s to Central Texas in the summer, it's not easy.
They're coming back though.
It's hard.
Right, yeah, they will come back. We've got that about a week away from now. We've got 80s and lower 90s eventually before, or after I should say, we reach triple-digit heat by this weekend. Taking a look at those June temperatures so far, yesterday was our first day of below average highs. That'll be the first and kind of fleeting day that we had before we really start to crank up the heat heading into today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. The heat will continue to build day after day. We are drying things out as we head into this afternoon. We're not going to be looking at any showers, any storms, maybe a stray shower for coastal plains areas, but the good majority of us looking at a quiet weather pattern from here on out as we head into the weekend. Not only will we be tracking the heat, we're also going to be tracking likely some hazy conditions. Saharan dust, looks like we should have a plume of that moving in by Saturday into Sunday. So hot, hazy, humid for the weekend, and of course we're talking about those triple-digit temperatures eventually making a comeback as well. We're starting to see the sunshine return now across Lake Travis, those clouds breaking apart. Still a cloudy sky in downtown Austin, but I expect all of us to start to see that cloud deck that we have had through this morning start to break apart as we warm things up, and we have begun to do so now. Now at 77 degrees in Austin, 77 for Bastrop. You're now at 72 degrees for Llano and Mason up towards the hill country at the moment. Out the door right now, we are dry, and we're not expecting much rainfall here as we head into at least the next for afternoons. Today, 10% chance for a stray shower. Again, that'll be mainly for the coastal plains. Most of us, no rain today. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are dry. By Monday and Tuesday, we start to see that rain chance tick back up. The ridge of high pressure that's going to be bringing us the heat will start to break down by early next week. So yeah, 80s, 90s, making a comeback. A short return here, but we've got to get through a tough stretch of heat before we see those numbers kind of fall back down. As for today, cloudy sky becoming partly sunny for this afternoon, mostly sunny for some of us with a chance for stray shower. Tomorrow morning, kicking off to a similar start. Those low clouds fill back in, we rinse and repeat, they break apart, and then the sunshine returns for your Friday afternoon. Hot high pressure starts to really build in Friday, Saturday, and peaks with its strength on Sunday. So Sunday is going to be the hottest day out of the stretch of hot conditions where, again, I do think a lot of us will be breaking into triple digits by what will be Sunday afternoon. Highs today should in fact be about 5 degrees warmer than what we had yesterday. We'll be back into the low to middle 90s, but with the humidity back up, those winds to the southeast bumping those dew points up into the low to middle 70s. Our heat index today ranging from 101 to as hot as 105 degrees, especially for the coastal plains. You'll be hottest. You'll be looking at enough moisture again to maybe spark up a stray shower, but that's where we'll really be feeling the heat by this afternoon. Temperature-wise tomorrow, we continue to climb low to middle and upper 90s, 97 for tomorrow up and down the I-35 corridor, middle 90s on tap for your Friday, and we will continue to warm into Saturday and Sunday. But notice what we have on tap Saturday into Sunday. Plume of Saharan dust moving in from the Gulf of Mexico. We'll start to see that likely, I think, for Saturday morning through Saturday afternoon and continuing into Sunday. It's going to lead to kind of a milky looking sky, and especially with the heat, I think we'll have to watch out for some air quality concerns as well. The heat tends to kind of exaggerate when we see some air pollution, which this would be air pollution with these particles moving on through. So we could be watching out for especially Saturday and Sunday, along with maybe even some heat advisories being issued down the road. As we climb to 100 degrees on Sunday, we keep it dry. By Sunday, late in the day, we're going to start to see that area of high pressure break down. That's going to allow for the chance for some showers and storms to return Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And what we're also going to see because of that is a cooling effect. Temperatures go from 100 degrees on Sunday back down to below average highs in the upper 80s by Wednesday afternoon.
Okay, see, that's why I don't mind those storm chances, honestly, because it goes up and down and keeps it down. It's 7:40. Let's take a look up and down, very similar to our morning commute. We are taking a live look once again, I-35, just kind of honing in on this trouble spot because it's like every half hour there's some new issue here in Walnut Forest at North Lamar. We've got construction crews hard at work over there, and then kind of a slow crawl on both sides of the highway there, and one of a couple different crashes popping up. We also have a new incident out near Oak Hill. We call this the Y. You can kind of see why here because it's shaped like a Y, and this is on 290 westbound at 71. Some slowdowns there, so feeling that on top of another area that's really feeling that construction as of lately. We do have a shoulder still blocked in Buda. We can work with that northbound as you're heading in, approaching that Onion Creek area today. And then here's the trouble spot that's really making it a little extra hard to move through that area is that incident at Howard Lane. So once again, this is impacting anyone who might work in Round Rock today. If you are getting on Mopac, not too shabby there. We've got that incident just right off of Mopac. There's the domain, I should say, if you're heading out the door. We had a little bit of car trouble in San Marcos on I-35 at River Ridge Parkway. That is cleared up, but as you can see, area-wide slowdown. Cedar Park feeling that. Round Rock, Manor, Buda, Oak Hill's looking okay, even with that incident on 290. Westlake Hills, 51 miles per hour. Let's take a look right now at our drive times, flirting with 40 minutes if you're coming in from Buda today. Good morning. Looking better if you are traveling southbound from Round Rock today. That'll get you over to 183, that little flyover bridge there, under 25 minutes, even with that mess coming and going through Walnut Forest. Look at that, though. Mopac's not looking too bad, but like I said, there's been some lane closures there the last couple days, really kind of tacking on some extra time. Not bad now, though, I will say.
All right, thank you very much. 7:42 right now, and imagine waiting 60 days in line outside. That's 2 months to get your hands on not barbecue here in Austin, Texas, but a video game. This is one example of the frenzy surrounding the Nintendo Switch 2. A lot of stores open at midnight for the big release, and ABC's Johnny Fernandez has the story.
Overnight, video game fans lining up for hours for the release of the highly anticipated Nintendo Switch 2. Some lining up for days, even months.
Hey y'all, it's your boy Chicken Dog. It's day 60, waiting for the Nintendo Switch 2.
Never felt more unemployed in my life, but you know, it's good timing, I guess.
The hype for the new video game console was Donkey Kong size. Pre-orders sold out in minutes back in April. Those who couldn't snag one then were happy to wait in line to get their hands on the new tech. The Switch 2 packs a sharper screen, better graphics, and a new feature, allowing gamers to chat with friends with the push of a button. And launching with the Switch, Mario Kart World. The classic series now allows 24 players to race each other all at once.
It's really fun being out here talking to these people. School's out. I've got nothing else to do.
My oldest son has the first Switch, so we're getting it for him for his birthday, which is this month. He's gonna be very excited because he already asked his dad about it. And you know how us parents, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to go and get it.
The console retails for $449.99, and some new games, including Mario Kart, will cost a whopping $80. But those prices aren't likely to keep gamers away. Nintendo is expecting to sell 15 million Switch 2s over the next year. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
You think they're going to sell them? What, the people are waiting in line that long, you think they're going to sell them? Because you got to have a reason to wait that long, right?
60 days? Like you're just camping out for 60
Yeah,
days.
or putting a chair there at least with your name on it. I don't know how.
Do y'all remember the OG Game Boy though?
Oh yeah, I had one of those.
Do you remember the OG
Had the little
Atari
cartridges?
from 1985 that I used to play? Ding dong, ding.
What's that? No, I'm kidding. Ding dong. Did it make that sound while you were playing it?
It did. Ping.
Oh, actually?
Or pong, whatever it's called, ping or pong. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, that
Ping
was
pong, okay.
that was the game. It was like ding. It was like you moved the slider.
Yeah.
It's all we had back in the 80s.
Move.
Pong was called pong. Thank you. Yes.
Black and white.
Yeah. There you go. Right there. Is this the line right there again? Yeah. You can see the King Kong, Donkey Kong, and what's your favorite?
No, wait, they take off the little sides and then it showed it like putting it together. What does
Right.
that do?
So you can use it. You can use it as controllers. Yeah, you can use it as different controllers. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I do Mario Kart, I gotta have some kind of little wheel situation.
Yeah.
There. Okay.
Yeah, you can put on wheels, I think, too. There are different things you can do.
And I do like the chat aspect, right? People act like, oh, they're not being social on video games. It's like you actually can make friends on video games, and you create your little
can.
communities.
Just be respectful in the chat. Don't say things you wouldn't say.
do you have experience with this?
My son.
My brother was the same way. You would hear the chitter chatter and it's like,
oh, talking smack to people.
My 10-year-old got suspended from PlayStation for a month.
Oh no! He was getting too crazy on there.
Talking trash to some other kid.
Talking trash. Oh man, yeah. Keep it cute. Keep it cute.
Yeah,
y'all.
keep it PG.
keep it classy.
The kids are not all right. It's fine.
Really not. But I mean, did you all have a favorite game, by the way, when you were growing up? Did you play it?
Oh yeah, Mario Kart, Nintendo
Mario
64.
Kart, Mario Kart, and I loved the Barbie video games.
Oh, I didn't have that
I liked
one,
the Mary Kate and Ashley driving the driving one. I'd like drive all over town.
Right. Yeah.
RBI baseball. You can't beat RBI baseball going way back right there.
Yeah.
Or Super Mario Brothers.
Do, da, da, da. Okay.
All right, enough of that. All right, we're moving on now.
Where are we?
have to? I don't know. An incredible story now of survival out of Alaska. A guy did not have his PlayStation for like an entire day.
Oh gosh.
No, it's not it.
No.
A guy was trapped face down in an icy creek under a 700-pound boulder for 3 hours.
I'm already scared. As ABC's Melissa Adon reports, he is alive thanks to his quick-thinking wife.
A terrifying ordeal after a 61-year-old hiker was trapped under a 700-pound boulder for 3 hours. Cal Morris was hiking near a glacier south of Anchorage with his wife over Memorial Day weekend when suddenly the rocky terrain slid out from under him.
I ended up face down in the water, and the boulder that pinned me rolled down and rolled on top of me. There was space to keep me from being just completely crushed flat.
His wife, Jo Roop, a retired Alaska state trooper, holding her husband's head above the rising glacial waters, then rushing to get cell signal to call for help.
Somehow I've got to figure out the best way to save his life.
The Seward Fire Department and a private helicopter company jumping in to save Morris. Crews using airbags, ropes, and brute force to lift the boulder off Morris.
It took everybody and God to save him.
Morris was found face down in that creek, hypothermic and in and out of consciousness. However, he is expected to make a full recovery. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Oh, goodness.
Scary.
Yeah, good thing the wife was there, because had she not been there, well, one, he couldn't have held his face up out of the water. But
Yeah.
you would have got cell phone service. No one known he was there.
Right.
Always.
You always have to have someone with you if you're hiking.
Yeah,
It's so
absolutely.
dangerous to hike alone.
Yeah,
Well, we see that in the summertime here in Texas too, like out in Big Bend. People
You have
try
to
go
tell
all
people where you're going, where your plan is. If I don't check in by this time, and satellite phones now have become much less expensive, and they can be pinged, and you can find out where you are because you don't have service out in those places.
Oh, that's probably fair. I was going to say, I usually like to have my location of like my family and friends, but I guess
Right, but
it's
when you're out,
useless once it's
when you're
dead
out there, yeah,
service.
yeah.
It's hard.
Fair enough. All right, guys, let's talk about 3 things we need to know this morning. And this is back in your local news now. Austin police released new video and details after officers shot a suspect on late Saturday night. And we do want to warn you, some of this video might be tough to watch. The shooting happened on West Anderson Lane near North Lamar Boulevard. Chief Lisa Davis says officers, they tried to stop a stolen car, but the driver took off, hit a pole, then another car. The suspect then started shooting at officers, so officers fired back. Police say the suspect, 18-year-old Devin Guevara, was injured. He faces multiple charges now, including 3 counts of aggravated assault on officers. The 4 officers who fired their weapons are on administrative leave.
Well, college students without legal status in Texas will no longer qualify for in-state tuition. This comes just hours after the U.S. Department of Justice sued the state. Under that former law known as the Texas Dream Act, students would have also had to sign an affidavit saying they would be applying for resident status as soon as possible. But just Wednesday night, Texas sided with the federal government and struck down that law. Now, this legislative session, a law that would have also ended this law, made it out of a Senate committee, but for the first time in a decade, it was Senate Bill 1798. It would have reversed the law, made students pay for the difference of in-state and out-of-state tuition if they were not classified correctly, but that bill did not make it to the floor. Now, Wednesday night, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton praised the Justice Department's lawsuit, saying, quote, ending this discriminatory and un-American provision is a major victory for Texas, end quote.
Y'all, our Lady Longhorns have got it going on. Texas softball is now 1 win away from its first national title. We love to see it. In Game 1 of the Women's College World Series final last night, Reese Atwood put Texas ahead in the 6th inning in such a way. Texas Tech was trying to intentionally walk Atwood. However, the pitcher left the ball hanging out over the plate.
She said, thank you.
She said, thank you, I'll take that one. Texas wins 2-1. Game 2 is tonight at 7 on ESPN, and we might need to stay up a little past our bedtime to see it. You know?
And even if they do lose, again, they've got a 3rd game if necessary. So tomorrow night, I guess it would be. So yeah, they got. There you go.
And our sports team is out there. What a joy. I love to see these women win. It's wonderful.
Oklahoma City, yeah, fantastic. Good luck to them and love to see it. Do we have a quick check of the weather, or we have time for that? Do we have time?
Yeah, I think we have time.
Okay.
7-day forecast is going to be hot and humid. We've got also some haze moving in, Saharan dust. So Saturday and Sunday, kind of expect that sky to look a little bit gray, a little bit milky, just kind of not the nicest looking weekend, but we don't have any rain or storms to worry about. So it is going to be a nice weekend to be out by the pool, staying cool in the air conditioning. I would think that we might even have some heat advisories being issued at least by Sunday as we bump up to 100 degrees. That means our heat index could be surpassing that threshold of 105 degrees. Tough weekend of heat ahead. Won't last for too long, thankfully. We've got kind of a climb to that 100-degree mark, but then after that, we start to cool down actually pretty quickly. We're talking about 80s returning to the forecast by about 6 days from now. So we're hot, then we've got some relief, some storms, but we've got to get through the heat first for the weekend.
We can work with that. It goes back down. We've seen worse, right? We can do it.
We'll see worse.
We probably know. That's what everyone says. It's just what
I know.
The famous quote is, I'm like, oh, it's hot. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you haven't seen anything yet.
I know. We always joke the scene in Holes. She's like, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. It's like, too bad, because it's going to be a long summer. Welcome to Texas. Thanks again for watching us here on Daybreak Plus. You can join us tomorrow at 7 a.m. In the meantime, we'll see you for a cut-in on your local cable at 7:56.
Goodbye, everybody.